So I made buckwheat with tefteli, it's meatballs. So let me show you how I made it. So for my julienne cut, I use this side for the baked dumplings, but for the buckwheat, I am going to use the thinner one. So just wanted to show you that's what I'm using instead of shredding carrots. Look at this carrot, it is so long. This is not even the longest. I showed my kids it was even longer, but I ate it already, so I can't show you. Look at that. So here we have 2 cups of buckwheat, which under cold running water, I'm going to wash it first. So the buckwheat is washed. Now we just fill it up with just regular water. Just fill it up until it's all covered, and then you just let it sit. Let it sit for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, drain the water. It is drained, so now we're adding 3.5 cups of fresh water. And then we add salt and our shredded carrots all in here. And then we put the lid on, and then on high heat, bring it to a boil. It is boiling, so now we reduce the heat to medium. And then we set the time for exactly 10 minutes. Now you remove it from the heat and another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we have to dump it out. I'm going to use a tray. You can use a baking sheet if you don't have a tray, but we have to release all the steam, and that way the cooking process will stop. I love the smell of buckwheat and also the taste. So I'm just going to stir it a little bit here and there. And then your buckwheat is ready. And this is the method that I always do with rice as well. Oh my goodness, my eyes are watery. The onion is super strong. I used the little gadget that I got from the Amazon return store. And so in here for the meatballs tefteli, we have 1 pound of ground beef. You can use pork or half and half. 1 onion, salt and pepper. Oh my goodness. And I have rice. It's not raw. I actually cooked it for 5 minutes. And yep, now you just give it a good mix. And before I forget, I have 100 milliliters of milk. You can use water, but I always use milk. And to form the meatballs, I'm using this ice cream scoop. And then we have to pan fry them. I got 18 meatballs, and we are just pan frying them now. We are not going to fully cook them. It's just, they just need a good char. So the meatballs are pan fried. I'm going to saute now onions and garlic. So up next into the pan goes 2 shredded carrots. So into the pan I'm going to add 1 cup of tomato sauce, and we need to add salt, pepper and some seasoning. And I'm also going to add 350 milliliters of my homemade bone broth. You can use water and a bouillon cube or seasoning or water. I'm just going to add everything in here. I tasted this sauce and it's delicious. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of starch mixed with cold water and just put it in here and give it a stir and make sure it simmers for a couple of minutes. I decided I'm going to add a splash of whipping cream, heavy cream. You can also use sour cream. Just a splash, and then it needs to simmer for a little bit, and then we will add the meatballs. So it is simmering. I'm going to add all of them in here. And then we just cover it with a lid, and then you just let it cook for until the rice is cooked and the meat as well. So it always depends how big your meatballs are, but it's between 5 or 10 minutes. So 2 more containers are done, and I have also prepared some fresh pretzels. So husband has to work. I'm going to pack him a few pretzels. He also gets hard-boiled peeled eggs, sliced cheese, sliced onions, my homemade cured pork tenderloins sliced, and a coffee to go. And he's off to work.